Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cat Chat. Today I am excited to share with you something that's another one of my favorite things. Of course, I'm sharing with you all my favorite things, and you'll see if you follow my videos, I use favorite a lot because I have a lot of favorite things. I'm very excitable. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about my smartwatch. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is not an Apple Watch, it's not an Android watch, nor is it a Samsung or any of those fancy watches that cost you hundreds of dollars. This is actually a watch that I spent $32 on. Right now the price on Amazon is under $35, but I got it 6 months ago and it was $32. So it's gone up just a little bit, but still for under $35, this is an amazing smartwatch. Aside from keeping the time, which is important, and keeping track of your steps and your exercise, it also keeps track of your heart rate, your blood pressure, your oxygen level, and you can also use it for, once you pair it to your phone, say you're listening to like a YouTube playlist, maybe mine, fingers crossed. And if you want to skip forward, you can skip a track just by touching it on your watch. You can go back and listen to a track again just by touching it on your watch. It's just so cool. You can also use it as a remote control for your camera on your phone. So lots of cool features for this little tiny package of a watch. And one of the other things I noticed is, well, it does say that it's water resistant, but not necessarily waterproof. So the difference being is you definitely don't want to take it in the ocean. It does specifically say not to take it in the salt water. And I probably wouldn't go swimming in the lake with it either. But I did accidentally wear it into the shower the other day and it was totally fine. Halfway through my shower, I was like, oh shoot, and I took it off. But it got soaking wet and it was totally fine. So it is water resistant. And I think that's really a great feature. So if you're washing your hands or whatever and it gets wet, no big deal. All right, so those are the things I love about it. So now at this point, let's take a look at what it looks like. All right, let's take a look here. This is what it looks like. Now you can, I don't know if you can tell in the video here, but the band here is a little bit faded. As I said, I've had it for about 6 months and I do spend a lot of time in the sun. So for me, it doesn't bother me, but for some it might, and I might consider getting a black one if that bothers you. Less likely to fade. You turn it on by pressing this little button here. And when I say turn it on, I mean turning on the display. Shows you the time. Up here you have your battery life and the date, and then your average heart rate for the day and your steps. Now, no judgment there because I've pretty much literally sat at this desk all day today. You press a button again and you can scroll up and see your options here. So I'm going to show you how it takes the blood pressure and heart rate in just a minute. I just want to show you this first. So there's your buttons for each of the blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen. And if you click on if you click on exercise here, you get the options of walking, running, cycling, skipping, which I think is funny, badminton, basketball, football, and swimming. Now, I don't know why it has swimming in there because, again, I wouldn't take it into a pool either. So that is kind of weird. So then once you're done with your exercise, let's go back to that again. Once you finish exercising, you hit that box up there and it asks you if you're finished and you hit yes. And then it will count it in your exercise. But even if you don't click on walking, it's still going to count your steps through the whole day. The other thing it has is, let's go to the beginning. If you swipe this way, it's going to show you the exercise that you've done for the day, your steps, and also your sleep. Now, I've found that the sleep is kind of hit and miss as far as how accurate it is, because it appears that if you get up to use the restroom, it counts you as waking up. And I mean, obviously you're awake, but I mean, like, it appears that it might stop counting then as your sleep. So it depends on how many times you get up in the night, how accurate that is. So, and it shows your deep and your light sleep. So 6 hours of sleep last night. I technically slept at least 1 more hour than that. So, you know, you can sort of take that with a grain of salt, but you can sort of get used to what your patterns are and decide whether or not that's accurate for you. And then the other thing you can do is This is the player that I mentioned. You can connect this to your phone and it will actually advance to a new song. Like I mentioned, this is your remote control for your camera, and you can even have the weather on here. This is all set up through the app, which I'll show you in a little bit. Same with the messages. All right, so some of the comments that I'd seen online were that the battery life wasn't great. I did not find that to be true. I'm getting 4 days out of the battery life. So I suppose it depends if you're constantly checking your blood pressure and whatnot, which I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here and show you how that works. As far as me, I think that 4 days is very good for a battery. So one thing to note is it does not sync up with some of your common apps like FitnessPal, and it doesn't sync up with the Oculus either, which is unfortunate, but still fine. That's not the reason I got it. All right, so let me just show you here how this is going to work. We'll go ahead and take my pulse, and so we're going to hit the heart rate here. Takes about 15 seconds or so. And then it's going to pop up. I know 15 seconds seems like a long time on dead air, so there we go, 85. That's kind of high. That's higher than normal. It's probably because I'm talking to you all. So let's go ahead and do the blood pressure. So I have found that this has been accurate. Like I said, I love this watch. I can't believe how many amazing things it does so accurately for such a small price. And should be coming up any second here. There we go, 128/70. That's about average for me. All right, and the same with I won't take up your time, but the oxygen comes up the same too. About 98% oxygen is what my average is. So, all right, let's take a look at what the app looks like. All right, here's what the app looks like, and it is free in your Play Store. This is where you're going to set up your profile with your weight and your stride length and everything like that, and it's going to show you your average heart rate, steps, sleep patterns, all of those things. You can either check that in the app or on the watch itself. These are just a couple of screenshots. The fun thing is you can change the face of your watch like every day if you want, or seasonally if you want. There's so many options, literally dozens of options, lots of masculine, feminine, and everything in between, something for everyone. All right, so there you have it. As you can tell, I love this watch. Not too much not to like. For under $35, it really does an outstanding job compared to, you know, the performance of, you know, the ones that are hundreds of dollars. I mean, sure, they might have a few other bells and whistles, but this really has everything you could really possibly need or want in a smartwatch, at least for my opinion. And the charge time takes 2 to 3 hours or so. It's a magnet that you plug on. Generally, I'll put it on the charger before I go to bed once a week or so. But if I do have to charge it during the day, because I've forgotten, it takes about 2 or 3 hours, depending on whether or not it's been completely depleted or not of the battery. So anyway, I will, as always, provide a link below for you to purchase one if you like. Of course, I'm not being paid by the company to talk about it, but I will get a small percentage as I am an Amazon affiliate. So I appreciate if you decide to purchase this watch to go ahead and use that link. Helps me a little bit. And as always, if this was helpful to you and you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Those subscriptions are super important. You don't realize how important they are until you have your own YouTube channel. So thank you so much for your support and your continuing to watch. I look forward to bringing you more things. Be sure to check out my intro video if you haven't already, because it tells you about all the things that I'm going to be talking about. If you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have a YouTube account, you do need one in order to subscribe. So I'm going to provide a link for that below too, just in case you don't have one. Just takes a minute or so to subscribe or to sign up, and then you can subscribe and you can get notifications for when I am releasing new videos. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, thank you so much for your ongoing support. I look forward to next time. In the meantime, have an amazing day. You know y'all deserve it. Mwah.